All right, I've got my Canadian tuxedo on. I'm trying to stay cool with my plaid shirt in the shade on this hot August day. I've come out of the dark of my game cave. I've been playing The Long Dark, and we finally got some good story-based single-player content in here, episodes 1 and 2, and there are 3 more episodes coming. And this is written and directed by Raphael von Lierup at Hinterland Studios. This is a game that's been long in gestation. The Long Dark's survival mode has been available for early access supporters for a long time on the PC, on Xbox One. Now it's on the PlayStation 4, which is where I reviewed this game. And I've looked at the survival stuff before and had a great time with it, but I was really anxious to dive back in and, take a close examination of the story mode in this game, which really pulls, from all of the lessons that you learn when you're in survival mode, all about camping and setting fires and collecting the right ingredients to keep your fires going and to keep yourself fed and from going thirsty, all the skills that you would need to survive. This is at its core a survival game, even though you are playing a single player kind of campaign where the story does progress and there are cut sequences and characters that you will encounter that will, tell you a little bit more about the mystery surrounding the collapse. But god damn, this is a hard game to put down. I just loved playing The Long Dark. At first, it was really hard for me to kind of get refamiliarized with the controls and the mechanics because this is not a game that treads lightly. It is not a game that eases you into any of this. Your plane crashes and right away you're about to die, and that's constantly in your face. You gotta go and find some food, wherever you can. You gotta kind of heal the wounds that you have on your body however you can, and you've got to stay warm. And the fire and the light in this game is really the sort of the core essentials that you need to stay alive. Without heat and without light, you are doomed because there are wolves that are out to get you, and that biting, ever-present cold is out to get you as well. So find some warm clothes, find some shelter, some nooks from the wind chill that you can set up a campfire. Find some kind of a sleeping bag arrangement to sort of huddle yourself in, and just try to make it through these long, long nights. And that's what this game experience was like. You play the character of Mackenzie. You've got a fellow traveler that has gone down somewhere in the woods and has escaped from the wreckage, but you don't know where she is. So you've got to sort of traverse this area. And at first you think everything is kind of closed off and that you're not really going to be able to explore as far and as wide as you would like to. And then the game kind of opens up, and it's kind of this magical sort of moment in this game because it looks so beautiful. It's a Unity-based game, and like we saw with Firewatch, it's a much broader scale, much more immersive, exploratory experience than the game kind of reveals itself at first blush. You think, because it does look so painterly, and the way that these giant globs of snowflakes come down from the clouds, and sometimes the clouds will part and you'll see this canopy of stars, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. You think you're like inside of a painting and you're not going to be able to keep going into these woods and go as deep as you want to go. But it does open up, and suddenly you'll see that a tree branch has fallen across a crevice and you can climb that and use that as a makeshift bridge, and you'll spot a little sort of opening, and it reveals itself to be a tunnel that you can explore, and it branches off into paths, and you'll find corpses and you'll dig through them, and they will give you little useful items and trinkets that you will be able to kind of just claw and scratch your way to surviving a little bit longer. And that's what this game feels like. It feels big and expansive, and the story is rich with mystery and beauty. Gorgeous, sumptuous music and a fantastic production design, but it feels like you inch along and you struggle to have every breath that you get within this game. And I think that's exactly the way that this should feel, And we have played with the survival mechanic in other games before, but it's central to this title, and it's such a personal kind of exploration when you kind of you look inside and you think, well, what the hell would I do in this situation? But you also have to kind of make those choices for your avatar, and how the hell am I going to manage my time properly so I don't kill my guy, so Mackenzie doesn't end up dead and I got to restart over and over again. Now, I had to contend with some crashes. This was, delivered to me on launch day on I think it was August 1st that this thing launched, and Hinterland has been obsessively patching this over and over again, and I had some crashes that were kind of frustrating, but thankfully the game saves quite often. It'll save as you enter areas. It will also save as you get a restful night's sleep, which is also incredibly important, and you can pick up all kinds of useful, items like herbal tea that will actually help you get a better rest, and you start to recognize how important rosehip berries are, so you can make rosehip tea, and that will help, soothe your aches and pains a little bit. And you're gonna also pick up tools like hatchets and create knives out of broken pieces of metal and things. And eventually you will find, more powerful tools like, rifles and things like that that will help you take down some of the bigger beasts and wildlife that you'll encounter in there. The wolves are absolutely terrifying in here, and I was eaten and munched up by more than a few of them, and it was frustrating. I kind of wanted to turn my game around and be, the first blood of wolf hunting games. I wanted the wolves to be the cops and my character to be Sylvester Stallone and make it personal, but that doesn't happen. For the most part, you are on the run, and you're timid, and you're scared, and you're freaking out, and you're inching along, and the wind starts blowing, and the snow is just completely, ferociously surrounding you and in your face, or maybe a fog settles in and it becomes even more creepy because you can't see 5 feet ahead of you, and all the while you are completely transported, and importantly, this is a game set in Canada, made by Canadian developers, and I applaud that the Canada Media Fund got behind this thing and supported it. I think it's wonderful that this is a Kickstarter success as well, and it's also a game that kind of proves out that long gestation period of early access and getting fans and people involved along the way to kind of focus test and provide feedback and be a part of the community and support these developers. I applaud Hinterland for sort of living up to their namesake and developing a studio in a small town in BC here in Cumberland. And I just think this project is magic. I really, really am in love with The Long Dark. And I can't wait to play the further episodes. I've loved every second I've played of this game, whether I've played the survival sandbox or I've now played some of the single-player stuff. This is wonderful, and it's not even a full, $70 deal. You get it for a lot less than that, and I highly recommend that you do, whether you get it for PC, PlayStation 4, or Xbox One. The Long Dark rocks, gets a 9 out of 10 from me.